Hello student, welcome to all of you. From last lecture we will study functions of data link layer. In last video lecture we discussed about first function performed by data link layer and that function is framing. Now in this lecture we will study about second function, that is error control. Then the question is, what is need of error control at data link layer when transport layer also provides error control mechanism? Means what is difference between that two error control which are performed by either data link layer or transport layer? So the answer is the error control in data link layer works at packet or stream level, whereas error control in transport layer works at message level. The data link layer is not concerned with ordering of packet while transport layer is. The motivation for this is that different network may be designed to work with different packet length. So when a packet goes from one network to other, it might be fragmented or divided by gateway router. This fragmented packet then need to be reassembled at the host machine. Now it is possible to do so this reassembly at the network layer, but this causes a lot of problems like buffering for example. Next, this would necessitate that all fragment of packet pass through same gateway, something which would compromise the packet switching nature of the network. Lastly, packet fragmentation may happen even at last gateway. This again forces a host machine to do the reassembly. Hence, packet switching network, the host machine would inevitably face the task of error correction, which is why transport layer handles it. Now we will discuss about error control by data link layer. Basically, error control is both, means error detection as well as error correction. Error control in data link layer is a process of detecting and correcting data frame that have been corrupted or lost during transmission. In case of lost or corrupted frame, the receiver does not receive correct data frame and sender is ignorant about the loss. Data link layer follows a technique to detect transit error and take necessary action, which is retransmission of frame whenever error is detected or frame is lost. Error control in the data link layer is often implemented simply as any time an error is detected in an exchange, specified frames are retransmitted. This process is called automatic repeat request, that is ARQ. It allows the receiver to inform the sender of any frame lost or damaged in transmission and coordinates the retransmission of those frames by sender. In data link layer, the term error control refers primarily to methods of error detection and retransmission. Then there are some of the phases related with error control by data link layer. First phase is detection of error, that means transmission error if any, which is detected by either sender or receiver. Second phase is acknowledgement from receiver to sender, which may be positive or negative. On receiving a correct frame, the receiver sends a positive acknowledgement for that frame to the sender. On receiving damaged frame or duplicate frame, the receiver sends negative acknowledgement back to the sender. Third phase is retransmission. Here the sender maintains a clock and sets timeout period. If an acknowledgement of data frame previously transmitted does not arrive before timeout or negative acknowledgement is received, then sender retransmits same frame. Then next concept is error. Error is a condition when receiver's information does not match with sender's information. During transmission, digital signals suffer from noise that can introduce error in binary bit traveling from sender to receiver. It means 0 may change to 1 or 1 may change to 0. There are two types of error. First one is single bit error, in which only one bit of given data unit is changed. That means maybe single 0 change with single 1 or single 1 change with single 0. In given diagram, this 0 bit is changed with bit 1. In whole this data, only one bit is changed or alert. So this is known as single bit error. Whereas in second method, that is burst error, two or more bit in data unit have changed from 1 to 0 or from 0 to 1. In this example, 4 data bit is changed, which is given in color. Then next is detection versus correction. The correction of error is more difficult than detection. In error detection, we are looking only to see if any error has occurred or not. Means the answer is simple, that may be yes or not. Means if error is detected, then answer is yes, otherwise answer is no. The second method, that is in error correction, we need to know exact number of bits that are corrupted and more importantly their location in that message. The number of error and size of message are important for correction purpose, in which the errors are corrected and then data will be transmitted. There are two main methods of error correction. First one, forward error correction, and second one is correction by retransmission. Forward error correction is a process in which receiver tries to guess message by using redundant bits. This is possible if number of errors is small. And in correction by retransmission, it is a technique in which receiver detects occurrence of error and asks the sender to resend the message. Resending is repeated until message arrives that the receiver believes to be error free. Then error detecting codes, which is either implemented by data link layer or transport layer. Whenever message is transmitted, it may get scrambled by noise or data may get corrupted. To avoid this, we use error detecting code, which are additional data added to the given digital message to help us detect if any error has occurred during transmission of that message. Basic approach used for error detection is use of redundancy bits, where additional bits are added to facilitate detection of that error. There are some of the popular techniques for error detection. First one, simple parity check. Second one, two-dimensional parity check. Third one, checksum. And fourth one, cyclic redundancy check. We all study it one by one. First one, simple parity check, also known as a single parity checking. It is a simple mechanism and inexpensive to detect the error. In this technique, a redundant bit is also known as a parity bit, which is appended at the end of data unit so that number of ones become even. Therefore, total number of transmitted bit would be 1 greater than number of bit in original data. Means if number of ones is odd, then parity bit 1 is appended, and if the number of 1 bit is even, then parity bit 0 is appended at the end of data unit. At receiving end, the parity bit is calculated from received data bit and compared with received parity bit. This technique generates total number of ones even, so it is also known as the even parity checking. This diagram represents simple parity check, in which this is the original data which contain 7 bit. Then we want to compute parity bit for that data. For that purpose, first we count number of 1 in original data. If number of 1 in original data is odd, then append bit 1 as a parity bit. So number of ones become even. If number of 1 in original data are already odd, then append bit 0 with that data. So number of bit 1 in that pattern is also even. So in this way parity bit will be computed for that data, and that parity bit will be appended with that data frame. Then that whole data frame with parity bit will be transmitted on transmission media to the receiver. When receiver receives that data frame, first it compute the parity bit, means it compute the parity of that data frame. If that parity is also even, then it accepts that data, otherwise it will reject that data. But there are some of the drawbacks related with this simple parity checking method. Means the advantage are, or the drawbacks are, it can only detect single bit error, which are very rare. And the second drawback is that if two bits are interchanged, then it cannot detect the error. So this is the first method, simple parity check method. Second method is known as variation, or maybe the advancement in simple parity checking method, which is known as a two-dimensional parity checking method, in which instead of one, the table format will be used for parity checking process. Performance can be improved by using two-dimensional parity check, which organize data in the form of table. Here parity check bit are calculated for each row, which is equivalent to simple parity check bit. Parity check bit are also calculated for all column, then both are sent along with data. At receiving end, these are compared with parity bits calculated on received data. And this is a diagram related with two-dimensional parity checking, in which these original data are first organized in the form of table, then calculate parity for each field or for each row. According to that parity, append parity bits for that row. Same way, also compute the parity for each column and append that parity or add that parity in last row, and then whole data will be transmitted to receiver row by row with parity bit also. So this is the second method known as two-dimensional parity check. Third method is checksum. Checksum is a simple type of redundancy check that is used to detect error in data. In checksum error detection scheme, the data is divided into k segments, each of m bits. In sender's end, the segments are added using 1's complement arithmetic to get the sum. Then the sum is complemented to get checksum. The checksum segment is sent along with data segment to the receiver. At the receiver end, all received segments are added using 1's complement arithmetic to get the sum. The sum is then complemented. If result is 0, the received data is accepted, otherwise rejected or discarded. This is an example related with checksum, in which each data or each data field contain 8 bits. So here total number of field are 4, that is value of k is 4, and each field or each chunk contain 8 bits. Then perform 1's complement arithmetic addition with each chunk to find sum. Then when we find the sum, complement that sum to find checksum related with that data. Then transmit that data with that checksum to the receiver. At receiver side, receiver also perform 1's complement arithmetic addition with whole data with checksum also. Then when it finds sum of that whole data at receiver side, it complements that sum, and if that value is 0, then data will be accepted by receiver, otherwise it is rejected by receiver. So this is the checksum method. Last one, cyclic redundancy check, that is CRC. Unlike checksum scheme, which is based on addition, CRC is based on binary division. A cyclic redundancy check is an error detecting code which is commonly used in digital networks and storage devices to detect accidental changes to raw data. Block of data entering this system get short check value attached based on remainder of polynomial division by their content. In CRC, the sequence of redundant bit called cyclic redundancy check bit are appended to the end of data unit so that resulting data unit become exactly divisible by second predetermined binary number. At the destination, the incoming data unit is divided by same number. If at this step there is no remainder, the data unit is assumed to be correct and is therefore accepted. If there is remainder, it indicates that data unit has been damaged in transit and therefore it must be rejected. This diagram represents cyclic redundancy check method, in which if at sender side divisor has n plus 1 bit, append n 0 bit with original data. Then divide that whole message, means data with n 0 bit, by that divisor. Then the remainder is known as CRC, which is replaced by n 0 bit. That data will be transmitted to the receiver. Then at receiving side, that whole data are again divided by same divisor of n plus 1 bit. If remainder is 0, then that data will be accepted, otherwise data will be rejected. So this is cyclic redundancy check method. Thank you.